inverter on and off. So before you start the generator, you turn it off. And the best way to know that you turned it off is, see the little red light on the bottom of the TV? That means the TV has power. So if you flip the switch, you hear a beep, and that will go off.
Okay, yeah.
Then you start the generator. You start the generator by holding the off button down for about 4 or 5 seconds. That primes it and prepares it to go. Then you press and hold the on button until it catches. Let me turn the air conditioning off real quick. Now what happens if you didn't turn this off, it will throw voltage into the inverter. And I'll show you there's a switch inside that trips. It has a GFCI that will trip, and then you won't have power.
That's if we forget to turn it off.
Right.
Okay.
It doesn't do any harm. All of a sudden you just go, there's no lights on in the refrigerator.
Right.
And the TV's not working.
We're calling you.
Yeah. So press and hold the off button, turns the generator off. And then you go back to the remote switch. And you give it a second.
Should come back on.
And then that's the
Very good.
The
battery.
light's back on.
Okay.
Now what happens if you start the generator? We turn it back off, and you go to, you heard the beep. That doesn't always happen. Okay. Is that still lit up there?
Red.
Oh, I see.
Okay. So it's back on.
Okay.
So if you look on the top of that white inverter,
Yeah.
there's a GFCI in there.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
So if you're not getting the power,
You just
click that,
reset it.
make sure that green light's on.
Okay.
Okay.
So that just freaked out. The weight key opens these up. Same thing back here too.
Okay.
Okay.
You can throw firewood and whatever you want.
Okay, very good.
This is the propane refill.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Quite a bit of propane in there. It's full to the top. I filled it this morning.
Okay.
So when you come back,
Fill that.
the only place to really fill this, when you're coming down south, or you're coming in from the north end, you get off on Imjin, and you basically do a U-turn and come back out onto the one going north, and then just stay and go right down on Reservation Road. There's a Shell gas station. They sell propane and they'll hook it up to you.
Okay.
Nice.
That's why we got stuff splashing out. But if you need to get more, you know, if you don't have power at your site and you need to have water and stuff like that, this is your water fill. It's full.
It's full.
It's full, especially on this street.
Yeah.
So it looks like if you do have a park that has water, this is where you would hook up. Otherwise, you're using the water pump.
Okay.
The dump is all back here. You ever dumped an RV before?
No.
Okay. So to dump an RV, let's get this out of here. So that's just for the pass-through.
Okay.
So the hose. I'm not going to open the ends on this
I
one.
understand.
The hose comes up, it's a bayonet type of fitting.
Okay.
So it goes in like that,
Yep.
underneath. So it would come up and hook like this.
Okay.
So gray, black. Black is your toilet. The one thing you always want to do is dump the black first. So you would pull that lever and let the black go. That's the tank right there. I mean, it literally just dumps out the bottom.
Right.
It only takes a minute or so for it to dump everything out.
Okay.
We have clear ends on these.
Yes.
Gloves on, and I'll show you. So these gloves are pretty good. They're insulated. They're heavy duty, thick rubber. But when you pull the cap off of this, this locks onto it and it shoots it down so it doesn't come blasting back up at you. Okay. So make sure you have that ring on there,
Yes.
and then after it's all said and done, you put the caps back on.
Now you do the black water first.
Do the black water first, let everything drain out of there. You can see when it stops flowing.
Okay.
You close that valve,
Yep.
and then you open the gray. So
Okay.
gray is showers and sinks.
All right.
And what that will do,
Flushes everything.
flushes that out and keeps the pipe nice and clean.
Okay.
This is your power cord. If for some
Yes.
reason you have any issue and you're like, hey, the generator's not powering things in here, check that. Sometimes they wiggle loose, but it's literally like plugged into an outlet.
So that's if we have a place that has a hookup.
Yeah.
Which might be Friday night. Who knows?
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah, we don't have a spot on Fridays. So.
Okay. You've got, this one might be loaded with gear.
This is your pass-through thing?
This is storage. So I have a barbecue propane tank. There's 2 water hoses in here and a fire pit.
Okay.
Okay.
You guys want those or do you want the storage space?
You know,
Yeah.
So going into driveways and stuff like that, pulling into the grocery store, try to hit it at an angle. Coming out, the same thing for you. Will drop down. It does scratch, scrape the front end.
how about like little speed bumps?
No, it goes over the speed
Okay.
bumps just fine.
Okay.
It drags the front end. Sure. It's a horrible design. It looks really cool because it's so low to the ground, but it scrapes off everything. Just like
Okay.
putting the stairs mid-ship, where if you go, I've had it when going over.
Okay.
You can't see it
Yep.
in the side view mirror.
So you never know.
Unless
I was
somebody's
driving a
honking at
17-mile drive, and this lady's like, and end up leaving it out.
Yeah, we won't.
So the funny thing is, it has an ignition interlock on it, which means when the engine's running, you can't operate the awning. It goes both ways. So if it's out and you fire this thing up, and you go to leave, and you go, oh wait, the awning, you go and push the button. If the engine's on, it won't come in.
Turn the engine off.
Turn the engine off. A lot of things are engine on, like the slide outs. The engine needs to be on and the parking brake needs to be engaged. Then the slide outs will work.
Are you getting this?
Oh, God.
Thank you.
The same thing with the hydraulic leveling system. In park, engine on, brake on, then you can engage the hydraulic automatic levelers. You can't be walking around inside of it while it's doing that because it has, it's mercury switches. It's just trying to figure out its level.
Right.
If you keep moving, eventually it just gives up.
Okay.
You have to be at a relatively level area, and it will tell you, we'll go over that, but it'll show you the low points. So there'll be lights on there, and it'll say it's low in the front, it's low on the right side. This one will be low in the back, low on the right side, and it will tell you, it'll start to try to level, and as soon as it reaches its maximum stroke in the back, it says,
That's it.
it's too far out of level. Basically find a more
Find a
level
better
spot. And sometimes it's hard. Remember, it's super hot, and it's hot like when it blows a lot of heat out of there. It's not a super efficient furnace, but it does gauge the power. The engine has to be off to operate this one, and that will drop down, and it gives you another bed up front.
Yeah, we won't need that.
Yeah,
Unless I'm in the doghouse.
exactly. It's a nice bed.
That's pretty cool.
This is the room slide out. This moves the big room out.
Okay.
Engine must be running.
Correct.
So engine running, parking
Brake.
brake on, press out until it goes all the way out. Don't half stop it. Don't make sure before you have 3 feet on that
You have
side.
enough room. Okay.
Yep. So that will go out.
Do you have to hold it the whole
Yes.
time? Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
To hold it the whole time. In the back, we have the same thing. And it's all the same. It's engine running, and you just hold the out button, and it will go all the way out,
Okay.
and it will stop when it's all the way out. Same thing, in, to bring it all the way in.
Okay.
And if something happens, like you forget to put the parking brake on, it'll flash red. And then just go back, parking brake, engine on.
Lights.
Okay, lights. You have lights up under here for reading. You have those. There's speakers if you like to listen to the music. There's power. Where's the power on this? I think there's power on this side over here. If anybody has a CPAP or anything like that.
No.
Storage. And this room slides out. You don't get more floor space. You just unfold the bed.
Bigger bed.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it comes out, it's about the same right there at the edge. There's the bathroom.
Okay.
So on the glass door, you see there's a latch.
Yes.
It holds the glass door all the way open. Make sure you affix that.
Okay.
Because it will slide around and it shatters, and
Sure.
it costs $500 to replace that. Because I did that. On just to the left side of the sink, there's an outlet, and it has a GFCI on it. So if you're plugging stuff in and you're like, hey, this outlet doesn't work, check this GFCI.
Okay.
There's also one in the kitchen. There's lots of GFCIs in this thing for some reason, and it never fails. All the inrush current that's going around with generators and plugging it in and inverters,
They trip.
they trip. And I mean, I had a guy come back and he goes, these outlets don't work.
Yeah.
I said, did you check the GFCIs? I did.
Yeah.
Click.
Yeah.
Oh, it works. He says, you didn't have your remote controls for the TVs. I couldn't watch TV the whole time. They were gone for 10 days. And there's a shelf above the doorway. Somebody had put the remotes up top there. And he just wasn't tall enough to see it.
Is that where they are?
No,
The
they're in,
remotes?
I leave them in the table.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Either it was he or his wife
Uh-huh.
put those up there when nobody was looking, and they fit up here, just barely fit there. Refrigerator, it's on.
Okay.
I just turned it on, so it's just
Now,
going
the
on.
refrigerator, we'll have full battery when we get there.
Yeah.
How long will that keep that going without driving the vehicle?
About 2 days.
Okay, so
Okay.
we spend 2 days in Wawona,
We
spend
drive
another
again.
hour and a half in it to go to the valley. Does
I
that
would
recharge it? Or
Hour
close?
and a half would be close, but you can look at your battery gauges
Okay.
on there.
Yeah.
I would run the generator though. If you're going to be there two days, you
Okay.
have 3 hours per day included.
Yeah.
So feel free to run the generator for 3 hours.
Okay.
And that'll charge
And
everything
that helps
up.
charge.
Oh
okay.
yeah, that'll charge it faster than the.
So we literally can load this refrigerator
Yeah.
in the when we leave.
Yep.
And,
Yep, you can have ice cream down there, Keurig up here, you have Keurig pods, paper towels, plates, bowls, coffee cups, insulated, solo cups, non-insulated, all types of forks and knives and
Great.
all types of stuff in there. Down here, we're talking cleaning supplies, pots and pans. Go even crazier. My wife, you have regular utensils if you don't like plastic. You have all your cooking stuff. I think the bottom one is all your cling wraps and
Okay.
Ziploc bags and stuff. Up top, there's some bowls, some spices and seasonings and plates.
Great.
What I tell people all the time, and sometimes I heed my advice, sometimes I don't. The more hard plastic or plates that you use, the more cleaning you use, and the less water supply you have for showers and things like that.
Sure.
So use the stuff you throw.
yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
don't be a slave to
the
cleaning the whole
I
time.
bought the paper plates too.
Let's go to the driver's seat, and why don't you hop in the driver's seat? Okay. You can see the brake light comes on.
Yep.
This is going to be really loud here. Sorry. You can please feel free to like Bluetooth to the stereo because the radio does not receive very well.
Okay.
The volume knob at times is challenging. Probably turn this off real quick. There we go. Because you have country music blasting in your face right now.
Yep.
So you have power mirrors are just next to the vent over there. So you have control of your power mirrors left and right.
Uh-huh.
To the left of that, you have a thing that says shade. So down and left. Yeah, push the bottom button down there. No, go ahead and push
Right there?
it. Just on the
Just-
bottom. Yeah,
yeah.
just push it.
Okay.
So while you're driving, this will come down. You can bring this down if you're driving in the sun, and that's as far as it goes.
Okay.
When the engine's off, it'll go all the way down. That's one of your privacy screens. These are manual, and they're just blackout shades.
Okay.
But they're your privacy shades for everything. So driving into the sun, that goes down, but it won't ever blind you. It won't accidentally go all the way down
Correct,
and blind
correct.
you. Then to the left of that button is the battery. If you somehow killed the battery in this and it won't start, you press that one and it connects to the batteries of the house and it will jump start itself.
Okay.
It doesn't work the other way though. Meaning if you kill the house batteries, you can't jump start the generator off this. You would have to have somebody come over. Batteries are under the steps and they'd have to jump start it.
Okay.
So run the generator all the time. Keep stuff charged up. That way we don't have to worry about, hey Eric, how do I solve this problem? It'll be seamless and you guys will just
Okay.
travel on down the road. Resets, everything will start your trip at 0. It's a regular truck. It's got cruise control. It's a 4-speed transmission or whatever. It's 5-speed transmission in here. It drives nice. Wind, this is a big flat sail. So crosswind, make you nervous. I mean, no lie. This
Yeah.
thing catches wind like you can't believe.
Yeah.
But when you have a tailwind, it gets great gas miles. When you get a headwind,
Yeah.
you're 5-6 miles to the gallon.
And the gas tank was over on this side.
Driver's side.
Sorry, I'm going to get this real quick.
When you get to your spot, engine on, parking brake on, and like I said, right side's low,
Yep.
rear's low.
Yep.
You are so far. I'm not even gonna try to level. I don't want to damage you.
No, it's
But what you
45
do at this point, like you're at the site, you press auto level,
okay.
and what it does is it takes the lowest side or your lowest end first, and it goes up above level. Because the whole point of why this is so cool when it's leveled is it takes the suspension completely out of it. So it'll take the rear side and it'll lift it up just above level, and then everything else will come up to that level.
point.
And then you're directly connected to the ground with no suspension. There's no spring in it. So you walk through here and this thing's you're like, wow, he's no kidding. This is solid.
Yeah.
Solid stuff. When you get ready to leave, you would hit retract and enter. And it's scary the first time you do it because it's instant. It goes boom, boom, you hit the ground. And you watch until it says it's ready to go. It says ready, jacks up. That means you're good to drive. If you forget, you get into this thing and you fire it up and you pull the slides in and you do all this stuff and you sit down and you pull this thing in and drive, it'll scare the hell out of you too, because it really goes fast. You will hit the ground and you will go, oh,
I broke it.
I got it. I think, because that's the safety in it. Much like if you left that step out, shut off, and you pull that in, you're all, that thing will come in, this will go to the ground. Every so often when you start the vehicle, you'll see all this stuff flash. It's just checking to make sure. It's pulling all the jacks just to make sure they haven't drifted down, like maybe there was a hydraulic leak or something.
And you said when we level, I just sit here and let it do it.
You just sit there
Because I
totally,
don't
so
wanna
don't
be-
walk around in
Correct.
here.
Yeah.
You don't want to do any of that stuff.
All right.
And then this will flash the whole time if you're driving and stuff. Just make sure you turn that off. That way you
Okay.
don't have to worry about it.
All right.
This is the screen for the turn signals and stuff. Hit a turn signal. Let's see. There you go. See?
Okay.
There's the car going by.
Yep.
And it does the same thing, reverse and right turn signal.
Nice.
And
That's
it,
really
it
nice.
does it all automatically. You can be listening to your music. It'll mute the stereo, not mute it.
Soften it.
It'll soften the music, and it'll show you this stuff. Now, when you're backing up and backing into a spot, and she's back there going, "Come on back here, go left, go left." You stupid idiot! I said left, not right. He can hear everything. There's a microphone back there, so you'll know what she really.
But I
thinks.
won't be able to hear him yelling
You
at
won't
me.
be able to hear him, but you'll know. He'll know exactly. So you have regular air conditioning in here, recirc. Be careful with these knobs. For one thing, these things are the biggest pile of junk ever, and I think I've broken almost every knob in here. And they're not that big of a deal to go down. I go to Napa, you buy them right off the shelf. They have these generic ones, and I've replaced them all, but they're really weak, and I know. So just kind of be careful when you're flipping these around.
Okay.
Don't lean on them too hard.
Right.
But your co-pilot has the same thing, USB cigarette lighter. When you're in the park and you want to listen to music, you can flip this switch up, and instead of taking power from the battery, the starting battery takes from the house battery. You can
Okay.
listen to music. The generator. So this is something I tell people: if you drive into hot weather, it's 100 degrees outside, Yeah, this air conditioning works. Yeah, it's pretty good. Think of it, it's still a commercial truck. It's not a luxury vehicle. Your air conditioning controls are right up here. So your heat, your AC, and all that stuff are right there. So you can flip the AC on. The passenger can do that for you, and you can. And I probably just tripped. I didn't even think about it. I probably just tripped the what you call it, the inverter. But you can drive down the highway, house AC blasting, and it's ducted, so it cools the whole thing. Where this is going to cool to about right here and be sensible, this will cool the rest of the coach. So when you get where you're going, it's not too hot. You can turn that off and see if it's
We'll check the inverter.
We'll check it on the way out. There's all types of like.
And that's where you can put the laptop on it.
Yep. So you can work there. It's got little desk drawers.
Very nice.
But you're not supposed to work.
No.
You're
Nope.
supposed to be on vacation.
We are.
It's doing what
It's
the
just
computer
working.
tells it to do.
Yeah.
It's slowing you down instead of riding the brakes down a hill.
Right.
You know.
Okay.
This is an F-53 chassis. It's a big, heavy-duty commercial vehicle. It's got a big, heavy-duty transmission.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got. I think it's the V10 in this one. Yeah, it does its job.
Great.
Cool.
Great.
Everything else, see, I tripped off that. The lights are on, so I know I tripped off that. And I did that. But, oh well.
So, then are we good? Do you think?
I think you're
Is that
good.
okay.
You gonna be comfortable driving this?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. So this is your biggest test is
This
getting,
is getting out of here without
Getting
hitting
out of
that Accord.
PG.
Try not to hit my truck. I don't care about the Honda Accord. You can wipe that thing out. My truck.